Well, good evening. This is Cassandra, Miss Cassandra with Just Read Savannah. And tonight, for our Bible reading time tonight, we're going to be reading from the International Children's Story Bible. Okay? And we're going to read 2 stories based on the Bible. And you can read along with me. Hopefully you can see the words really good. If not, I apologize. So tonight we're going to read about Gideon's Brave 300. And I'm going to kind of skip around the book. I'm going to skip around to different stories. But what you have in your mind and what you entertain right before bedtime sometimes is really, really important. So let's read some Bible stories for the month of August, okay? All right, Gideon's Brave 300. Gideon's army was getting ready to fight their enemies, the Midianites. The Midianites had a huge army. Gideon had 32,000 men. But God told Gideon, "You have too many men. Send all those home who are afraid." So out of the 32,000, 22,000 men went home. God helped Gideon narrow his army down to 300 men. Wow, so Gideon went from 32,000 men just to 300 men. Finally, Gideon's 300 brave men were left to fight the huge Midianite army. Gideon's army went at night and surrounded their enemies. Gideon's army took only jars, trumpets, and torches for weapons. They blew the trumpets and broke the jars, and the Midianites ran away. Isn't that an awesome story? They didn't have swords and guns and all this other stuff. They had jars, trumpets, and torches for weapons. And that story is in Judges 7, verses 1 through 22. If you would like to share this story with your parents, and maybe they can read from the scriptures, okay? All right, so we're going to put a check by this one since we read this one tonight. So we won't do that one again in August, okay? So we're going to put a check by that one. Now let's go to what would you guys like to read? Let's go to Fishers of Men. How about that? Because we're here in Savannah, and one thing that's for sure, we're around the beach, we're around the sea, and we're around people that have boats and they love to fish. But this is a different kind of fish, okay? So listen up. Fishers of Men. Jesus had been sitting in Peter's boat teaching people on the shore. Then he told Peter to take his boat into deep water, and he would catch some fish. Peter said, "Master, we fished hard all night and caught nothing, but we'll try again if you say so." The fishermen put their nets in the water. They caught so many fish, their nets started to break. Their 2 boats were so full of fish that they began to sink. The fishermen were amazed. Jesus said, "From now on, you will fish for men." Jesus meant they would tell people about him. We should be fishers of men too. Isn't that awesome? At first, they were not catching any fish. They worked hard, really, really hard all that night, and they didn't catch anything. And Jesus said, go out into the deep water. And when they were obedient, that's a key word, when they were obedient and listened to Jesus and they went out into the deep water, you see what happened, or you heard what happened, right? Their nets were so big and they had so much fish in their nets that they started to break. And that's just an awesome story. And Jesus said, from here on out, from now on, you will fish for men. So we have to tell everyone about Jesus wherever we go, because we are fishers of men and we are a light to the world, right? That is an awesome 2 stories tonight. I hope you have a awesome night. Rest well. Be blessed. Say your prayers before you go to bed. Pray for everyone. And this is Miss Cassandra with Just Read Savannah. One thing you'll be doing for the rest of your life is always reading. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.